Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So y'all, in today's video, this will be like a video diary. This video could turn into a vlogmas, we'll see, I don't know, but this will definitely be like a video diary like I did the last time. Today's episode will be on be realistic. That is what it's going to be titled, is be realistic. This episode, I just wanted to talk, and just to give a disclaimer, if you've never seen any of my video diaries before, this is just me talking. Like, I do want to start a podcast in the future, but I don't think I'm ready just yet to be providing information, if that makes sense. I'm still going through things, I'm still figuring stuff out, and honestly, I know it's not bad to have a podcast when you're still figuring things out, but it's also about I'm trying to get better with speaking as well. I feel like I need improvement with that, like to make things more clear, have more clarity with things. This is kind of like my trial run, and I thought it would be just something simple to where I don't feel like I have pressure on myself or anything. I just kind of talk. Today I did kind of find like a prompt to go off of. The last time I was literally just talking. This is episode 2, and again, this is called being realistic. So I do have a couple notes, so I will be like looking down at my phone just to know what I wanted to talk about. I guess I'll start off with my definition or why I titled this video be realistic. So my thing is, I feel like we kind of have, well, at least me, okay, but I feel like as a whole we've gotten to this point to where being realistic sounds like, I guess you could say it sounds like it's based off of what everybody else thinks of you, or like it's something like being realistic means that you're not dreaming big, I guess you could say. It's come to that point. I'm someone who's gotten to that point to where it's just like, I'm not gonna be realistic, I'm gonna just do what I want to do. Being realistic sometimes can really help. That's what I've learned over this past, I guess you could say, year, really these past months. I say this because having these big goals, having these big dreams, which I'm a very like, I strive for big type of person. I'm a very optimistic person. I dream big. I imagine my future to be the most wonderful thing ever. Like, I just imagine this very luxurious life for myself. It's just a really big goal, and I think with it being such a big dream, or I guess you could say big goal, I kind of put pressure on myself when it comes to certain things, saying like when I need to tighten up things, or like when I need to get my life together because I've fallen off or something like that. I kind of place just big things on myself. I try to participate in challenges. I try to do anything and everything just to get out of where I am as quickly as possible. I feel like since we've gone away from this term of being realistic and being like setting realistic goals for yourself, but it's gotten to the point to where I think that's why a lot of people, they'll come out and say they were like, I guess you could say hyper productive. I think that's the term. I feel like I just heard this from somebody. This thing of wanting these big goals and big dreams and dreaming big has come to the point to where we get like overproductive or hyper productive, however you want to say it, and it can cause like more stress and anxiety than before. It just puts you in a worse spot than you were before not doing anything. And not saying that not doing anything is a good thing either, but sometimes if it's realistic for your situation, it possibly can be, if that makes sense. I think that's what I'm getting to, is being realistic for your situation is the best way to go. The term being realistic has just become such a bad term, I feel like, recently, because when we think of being realistic, or what I at least personally tie being realistic to, is I tie it to being realistic under someone else's terms. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that. It could be you're being realistic to your own terms. So have control over what you do or what makes sense to you. It's just about being realistic for your situation, because let's say, for an example, I'm trying to think of an example. My biggest example, which I told y'all this in my last video diary, is I have been trying to go to the gym for years, all the time, and try to stay consistent all like for so long. And last year I was doing really good and I was going like every day, and that's usually like when I try to start going to the gym or trying to work out. I try to strive for every day because I'm just like, I want to lose these pounds or get toned as quickly as possible. A lot of the times it's just not realistic for me, or like I've found that it's not realistic. Every time I do it, I always do it for a good month straight, maybe, or maybe even longer, and I always end up failing. It being a consistent thing in my life, my everyday life. Over this month or some change, or a month that I've been going to the gym, I've realized this is like the thing that's helped me the most, is me being realistic to my situation. Just to give y'all my situation, I work a full-time job. I have a weekend job currently. Honestly, just finished my post-licensing exam, so I was just studying for that as well. Just adjusting to this job, it being far away, it's a really far, not a really far, but a far commute, good enough to be an hour each way is what I'm trying to say, up to an hour. It's just not realistic for me to expect myself to go to the gym every day after work or before work or wherever. Like wherever I try to place it, it's not realistic for me to go to the gym every day. I kind of just got this sense that I just need to do what's best for me, just because right now it may not be what I want. I guess you could say be what I want it to be. Like, does that sound right? Just because it's not where I want to be right now doesn't mean it's a bad thing, if that makes sense. And honestly, in the long run, I may not end up going to the gym every day, like when it comes to like my future, like in my life, basically my everyday life, what I want my everyday life to look like. I may not want to go to the gym every day. So I just feel like I right now currently am just building up to at least having gym in my weekly life, I guess you could say, because it's not going to be my everyday life, but in my weekly life. And what I can focus on every day is try to watch what I eat, try to up my water intake, which is more realistic than trying to go to the gym every day to burn calories. And it may not even become it may not even end up being in my routine later, if that makes sense. That's what I've been practicing this past month, so that is just a good example. So right now I just go to the gym 2 days a week, which is right now realistic for my schedule, and I plan to hopefully add a day, at least by next year, add a day. What I've also been thinking about is, because it's not a problem participating in challenges, but again, it's what makes sense for you. Like, I feel like everybody has been doing this 75 soft 75 hard challenge over the past years. Even myself, I've tried to complete it twice, and I failed both times because it just was not the challenge for me. I only said this in my last video diary, but I think I'm planning to, in January, which is a month before my birthday, to commit to going to the gym every day, just to see how I like it, I think. And also, it's just a challenge. It's only for a month, and a month goes by like that, so like it should be fairly not easy, but it won't be something that will be something I have to keep up, if you get what I'm trying to say, just to see how I feel, what happens. And also, like I said, to just like, I don't know how to explain it, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. But I just wanted to do it as a challenge, but only as a challenge, not as something that is going to be a challenge that I hope to have in my everyday life. I'm starting off small and I want to go big, and I did mention this in my video diary. So that's why I'm really doing this video. Like, my video diary inspired me to do something like along the lines of this, to talk about being small and then going big. That's where I think being realistic comes in. I feel like that's something we need to bring back up, which I don't want to say it's not brought up. It's just become like everybody's kind of wanting to be hyper productive. They're just seeing what everybody else does, and it's just like, that may be what works for that person, but that doesn't mean it works for you. I've tried throughout this year, last year, and everything to try to wake up really, really early, try to go to the gym, like I said, every day, try to be on this diet, be on that diet, try to at some point try to walk every day, which was a pretty good thing. It wasn't a bad thing. I feel like that worked for me. I guess another thing I've also tried to do is no screens. I've never completed this for real, but y'all, there's some people that just do no screens all day, and it's not realistic for me. Like, it really is not realistic for me. I'm such a person that likes to research a lot of things. I like to look up everything under the moon. I listen to music a lot. Like, it's just not realistic for me. That's something that definitely is not realistic for me. I'm going to little by little take away some things and not trying to be on things an hour before or in my first hour of the day, maybe. But it's just not realistic, especially now because I work. And before, I think it was school was really the reason. I usually like to get my work done really early because I'm a morning person. I'll wake up and I want to get all my stuff out of the way so that I could enjoy my day. And it just wasn't realistic for me to, within the first hour of my day, have no screens. I think that was a big one for me, and I've just tried to do the hyper productive things, try to do the productive morning routines I used to see on social media and everything, and it's just like, it doesn't work if it's not for you. Being realistic should only make sense to you. Should you have big goals and everything? Yes. But should you be realistic at the same time? Yes. You can be realistic and still have big goals. And that's what I've learned over the, like I said, the past year, just trying different things, just hitting low points in my life, like I said, and then trying to get out of them and trying different things. And like, I didn't realize like until this year that putting one foot in front of the other really just helps. Going up one step at a time, it like helps. Like all the like cliche like quote things about how to live everyday life, it's literally like the truth. Literally doing what makes sense for you in the moment and not what makes sense for other people. What's so crazy is, like I said, being realistic has become something that's looked like frowned upon or whatever, because when it comes to being realistic, it's almost like, okay, if I can't do this right now, I need to go to college or whatever the case may be. That's just an example. Like, if you can't do your dream right now, you have to go to college. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be something that makes sense to you. If you can't, like, let's say your goal is to one day have a duet with Beyonce. I don't know, that's a really big goal. But one day have a duet with Beyonce or go on tour with Beyonce, I guess you could say. What you should be doing now, like if you're like nowhere near that, like, you get what I'm trying to say, like you're just starting to sing, you haven't even sung in front of a crowd, you need to be realistic. And not saying just go find a plan B or find something else that you could be doing that would be more beneficial. It doesn't mean that. When I say be realistic for your situation, is like, if you've never sung in front of a crowd and you know you're a good singer, go sing in front of a crowd. Or if you feel like like I said, you're a good singer or whatever, but you're not too sure, or like just anything, go do a singing class to ensure that you are able to maximize your voice to the fullest potential. Go post on Instagram and sing to people on Instagram, on the social media, especially because we have social media and everything. Go do those things. Like, those are little things that'll make the big steps easy. Do those little things to build up to those bigger things, is what I'm trying to say. Don't just try to go after, I guess you could say, just go after the big goal. Yes, do that, but you need to make what is it called, the SMART goals. So you need to have that really big goal, that big vision in mind, and start making little SMART goals that'll build up to there, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I'm telling you, your foundation will be a lot better if you're realistic and make things make sense for you in your situation to get to that vision. And you'll get to that vision a lot quicker. It'll just be a better foundation. Your trials and tribulations will be a lot smaller, and failed at this little goal that you had in mind, but it also took a little setback. It wasn't a big setback that you have to recover from now and have to go through so many other things to get back up to where you were. And it'll make it better for when you actually get to that big vision. You know, you did this, that, and the third. You planned for everything. You made sure you did everything and now you finally have it, it will also be just a better feeling than knowing you rushed something. And it shouldn't be rushed because it is a big vision, it's a big goal. That vision you have, that dream you have, like, it's a very big thing. It requires time. You don't have to rush, you don't have to rush to get it done. It's your own dream. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. It's your dream. You need to take your time with it. You need to do the work for it. You need to plan for it. And you need to do all the things that requires getting there. And also the things that require staying there. Because like I said, if you race to it, you're not going to stay there for very long. It's going to start falling down. Like, it's going to start crumbling. And I don't want to say there's a right and wrong thing for what you do. I'm saying take your time, be patient, and just make sure you're doing everything you need to do to make the foundation as strong as possible. Appreciate the journey of your vision than just the vision. That is just my little video diary, y'all. It's been so much chaos in my background. I really hope y'all did not hear it. Yeah, I just hope y'all got something from this and y'all like kind of get what I'm saying. Like I said, like, I have to work on some things. That's why I don't want to make a formal podcast. This is like my practice podcast or whatever. Get me talking in front of a camera, first of all. Second of all, get me talking about stuff like this so I can start building ideas, so I can like formally have a podcast one day. Honestly, I thought about this morning, this concept. I always felt like being realistic was such a bad thing. I feel like being realistic means you're being pessimistic, if that makes sense. I kind of almost always put the two together, and it just did not have to be that. I didn't realize, like I said, until this year. I just had a lot of situations that I went through to where I had to be realistic for my situation, and I couldn't base it off of what I wanted to do in that moment. It wasn't about what I wanted to do, it was about what made sense for me in that moment. Just a lot of situations that I feel like I went through the past year and everything that has made me come to this point to where now I'm like, no, I'm about the foundation. And it's like, I've been hearing that you want to have a strong foundation, you want to have a strong foundation, but I never knew how to do that. I just recently, in this month or two, just committed to like being realistic about my goals, being like more, I guess you could say, lenient on myself, in a way, I guess you could say. But like, I've been trying to do the things that make sense to me, like not the things that I want to do or what I want to fully accomplish. Like, for instance, something I've rejected, cutting out sugar. It may come a time that I'll do that. Mentally, I'm not disciplined enough as of right now, and this is like my mind now, how it works. I don't feel I'm disciplined enough in my mind right now to cut out sugar. And I know, like, I could start taking, like I said, little steps to do that. Like I said, I'm not gonna go to the big goal. I'm gonna cut out all sugar. That's not realistic. Sugar is in like literally everything. That's like one of probably the hardest things to do. I realized that after watching somebody trying to cut out sugar in their life, and they couldn't even do completely all sugar because sugar is literally in everything, but they had to do like refined sugar, I believe, because there's different types of sugars, and you have to read ingredients all the time, do this, do that, and it's just not realistic for me. I don't have time to read ingredients of everything, change my whole grocery list. I literally, honestly, just got to a point to where I figured out what breakfast I can eat every day. I don't have time for that, and I also don't have, like I said, the discipline to do that. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna do it ever, but right now, no, it's not something that's gonna happen for me right now. Like, it's just not. I'm so sorry, I thought I was done. You doing these things and not being realistic with yourself and just trying to go for a big goal that you know is something that's big for you, that's gonna be something that's gonna require a lot from you or a lot of discipline from you. You doing it and then failing at it it can like make you lose confidence in yourself, confidence on if you're gonna complete something. That's another thing that I've had over my years. I just have tried multiple different things multiple times, and it's just like every time I fail, it makes me lose even more confidence. So when I try to go up and do it again, I'm like, is this even gonna last? Another reason why you don't want to just jump for the big thing. You want to build up to it so you can build that confidence in yourself. The only way you can make it a smaller goal than what the big thing is, it can help. in the long run. Y'all, I'm honestly getting tired. I'm not gonna lie, I'm about to end this video. Like, I'm talking so much. That's all I have to say. I think I've exhausted myself with it. I do hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I guess comment down below what you took away from this video, or just comment down, be realistic, if everything in the video you took away and you're thinking, you're processing. Just comment those things down below. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.